Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a little bit of an unconventional stream. Probably be running this over the weekend, and it's a little bit of a rerun of a game that occurred actually on Wednesday. It was our season opener for Overwatch for the UFV storied Kelowna gas roster. If you've been watching us for a while, you'll kind of understand a bit of partnership between UFV and Kelowna Gas. Really, Kelowna Gas ends up just being the name that this team competes in the pro scene. UFV, obviously the university, we're competing here for in the collegiate scene of what is now called the PCL, Play versus College League. This is actually our 7th season in this. A lot of players have been returning for several seasons now. Crisis, a founding member. That's your boy, as Red Pill picks up the first kill here. Bell going to be picking up the second, and I'll be transitioning to a little bit more of a conventional casting sound once we get kind of rolling here. Anyways, your Kelowna Gas, that's of course the UFV Overwatch rosters. Bell and Kyria are going to be picking up the kill there. Nice headshot from Kyria. And yeah, Kelowna Gas is going to be represented for now in the lighter of the two greens. I believe that stays the same for the rest of the series. We'll see what that looks like as things go on here. Anyways, UFV often starting off these collegiate seasons a little bit slow, and it was nice to see our team come out of the gates here with some energy, some pace, and eventually end up kind of running away with that first fight, and I'm sure you'll see what the subsequent fights are like. Bell trading out there, so good. Well done at picking up the kill. Bell actually saving Kelowna Gas's butts here a little bit by playing in this one. She was going to be casting the game, and that's why you see this stream in the way that you do at the time that you do, with me kind of catching you up, as I, Crisis, like to stand in some silly positions and risk feeding when I have the chance. Kyria looks to secure that headshot, eventually probably will. Platinum Laser, mind you, picks up a kill here, and even without their main support in the fight, Red Pill going to be popping the ult, and Kelowna Gas finds a way to make their way forward, make the fight work, pick up some kills. Crisis coming back in from spawn there. And yeah, UFV kind of stabilizing. Bell going to pick up a big kill there onto Birthday Ninja that really staggers things out for UFV's opponents, the Newman University Jets, on the night. And you see several ultimates coming up for Kelowna Gas as they approach the round win here. Bell falling super low, but a clutch cleanse gonna come in from Kyria. Careful timing there from him. Really one of the stalwart forces on this Kelowna Gas team. Been the flex support there for a long time. As you see Bell now picking up a big kill with the Deadeye, and actually the Deadeye comes out to match from the Newman player there. Can't quite pick up a kill with it, and then the Hatch Attack actually gonna end up trading out as he jumps into the cars and is the last player for Newman University to fall there, as Kelowna Gas picks up the first round win on map 1 Oasis.
Ready for battle.
We will not lose this battle if we fight this one.
Kelowna Gas, I'm sure at this point we were having some really important strategic discussions about how to approach map 2 and keep the momentum going. Definitely not sitting over in the corner laughing at Bell's antics. I'm pretty sure we were taking things very seriously this whole series, this whole night. So I hope you enjoy the next 20 and 25 minutes or so of this UFV Kelowna Gas season opener for our Overwatch team. Facing off again against Newman University Jets, team from Wichita, Kansas, I believe it is actually. Red Pill, again, as I mentioned, we were down a player, and so Bell had to jump in from streaming to playing, and ended up being Red Pill flexing over to the tank and picking up some big kills there, having a really great series all around. Crisis picks up 2 kills in that fight, a headshot onto the Kiri, and then the eventual boob kill onto the tank there. Gonna, of course, doing something very important, sit emote there. And Bell likes to play forward, plug these chokes a little bit, try and pick up some kills. Kind of thing that we have learned to encourage her to do, and oh my goodness, picks up a big kill there onto Hatch Attack. Kind of gapping the cast here so far on map 1 was Bell. And May nearly falling. Kelowna Gas pushing up a little bit aggressively here. Maybe a rotation gonna be coming through, and you see, yeah, UFV Kelowna Gas kind of senses the rotation of the Newman Jets there. Makes their way over very quickly, and you're actually gonna see Crisis immediately getting there, giving a little wave, kind of cheeky to hatch attack there. He's gonna be waiting for a boop, which of course might not come, as it looks like Newman trying to re-rotate back to the other side. Kelowna Gas though, wisely smelling that one out too. Gonna lose Bell here early in this fight. Red Pill kind of rom-gapping as well. Takes care of business in that mirror and gets the trade for Bell. Platinum Laser fell super low there, but Curia looks like once again clutch cleanse. UFV gonna be trying to get out of that blizzard in time, and they do with the power of a speed and a cleanse. So the Kelowna Gas, UFV's Kelowna Gas roster, the support's looking very clean in that fight to take care of business there. And Crisis is gonna be winning a little bit of a long-range gunfight to stagger out even further. The Newman Jets who now fall into last fight territory. They do have a few ultimates building up, but not nearly as many. My goodness, look at the Kelowna Gas side. 5 ultimates on their way to being online here as they come towards the last fight. Going to be able to just sink everything. You see Newman rotating low. And Kelowna Gas not going to waste any time, just popping the ultimates right away. Crisis gets a kill in the Lucio mirror. Bell gonna drop the ult to get a kill as well. Red Pill and Platinum picking up kills of their own. And Red Pill gonna get the last one there to close it out. Actually had to play the game somewhere in that mix as Ramatra as well. And our Kelowna Gas roster, for a change, really nice to see getting out to a fast start this season. The first round, the first map, everything looking incredibly clean there. And that trend would really continue for the majority of the night, with the exception of a few antics, a few hiccups, that kind of thing along the way that I'm sure you'll see. Look forward to walking you through some of those sort of funny moments, but for now, here we are. Yep, Kelowna Gas once again on the right side in the lighter of the two greens, kind of almost yellowy color there.
You think I'm alright?
Well, you are loud, boorish, and annoying.
But
And we'll skip ahead here just a little bit to get Kelowna Gas out the door. Going to be switching onto the Mauga as Red Pill and UFV playing a very aggressive strategy here. Red Pill pushing all the way to point. Bell can actually pick up a sweet headshot onto Sam the Storm there. Crisis trading out, so it's 4v4s. Kelowna Gas continues to look for the correct opening. Push into the Newman Jets here, and oh my goodness, hatch attack. Swapped onto the tank roll and falls incredibly low early in that fight there. Red Pill continuing to push forward, a nice headshot kill onto B-Day. 2-3 kills already for him in this fight, pushing up even further. Oh my goodness. Red Pill just taking care of Newman University all by itself. It feels like, obviously support very firmly though by Kyria. And you see Platinum Laser on the Tracer kind of hanging around in that fight as well. Gonna eventually pick up the kill onto Ash. Meanwhile, over here you got Bell and Crisis just kind of punching their way forward onto the point. Just kind of waiting. And back to Red Pill in the action. Gonna be pulling back for some healing. Kyria in a clever position, kind of tucked away, a ways ahead. So Kelowna Gas building up some ultimates. Platinum Laser gonna be taken out by sort of a stray, but Bell picks up a great headshot kill there.
You must like having me around.
we got him where we want him. Let them up.
And with a window and a Mauga ult now, we see Kelowna Gas in a pretty good position to push this forward almost to where they can cap it. Obviously, the point is trailing behind a little ways. Just be checking with Crisis, now accompanied by Platinum Laser on the point as they just slowly push things forward. And Red Pill gonna be continuing to just dominate in the front line. Mauga pick was something they ended up banning actually going into the next map. And for good reason, you can see why. Red Pill pushing forward, getting so many kills, headshots, stomp, everything. Could be going forward to try and save Kyria there. Kyria has to force out the disc. They're playing a bit of an aggressive position. A pulse comes out from Platinum Laser, goes a little bit wide the wayside, and Kyria is eventually taken down, but traded out
Blood flowing.
for Birthday Ninja as Red Pill picks up the kill there. And another one. Red Pill securing 2 big trades there. The Kelowna Gas are struggling for life in that fight, only momentarily, but now Bell, Crisis going to be picking up kills of their own. Red Pill gets the final, 3k for him again in that fight, and oh my goodness, on the Mauga so far, just dominating the scene on King's Row. Bell has built up that Widow ultimate and is looking for an early opening pick here. Gonna get up into a high ground position, and some good damage there onto the Bastion. Brings him very one-shot. Meanwhile, Kyria and Red Pill each pick up a kill, and so Kelowna Gas able to kind of make the corner. Kyria gonna be grabbing another one. Oh my goodness. Kind of tore Newman University alive in this fight here so far as Bell picks up a nice headshot kill there onto Meow, and oh my goodness, UFV pushing all the way forward. Crisis actually on a little bit of a cheeky flank, goes all the way to spawn, takes down Panting Dog on the Bastion in his own spawn. Bad to worse for Newman University here. Red Pill continuing to solidify the tank gap. 2 headshot kills in a row in this fight. And gonna be all Kelowna Gas needs to put the point away there for this attack round on King's Row.
Score 0-3.
As in pretty quick succession, our Kelowna Gas roster finds the map completed with 4:23 remaining on the board. If you don't know much about Overwatch, that is far too quick to have taken care of business on that attack. Skip ahead a little bit here to get right back into the action. Maybe even a little more.
Ready for battle.
And yeah, you see things switching up a little bit for Kelowna Gas, maybe indicative of a little bit of silliness if you look at such things as this Crisis Alari, not a pick we've seen for a while. It was something we saw a lot when the character first dropped, not since.
Attackers incoming.
Anyways, and then you see Malga, Red Pill here, taking up a little bit of a cheeky position in the front line, and Bell swapped onto a comfort hero of hers in Ponzo. Red Pill with a nice leaping jump there. Platinum Laser actually going to be picking up the first kill onto CM the Storm there, and UFV takes up a very aggressive position, does our Kelowna Gas roster, taking down Newman University pretty quickly here on the defense, making life difficult for them really all throughout the night, particularly certain points of this map. Felt like Newman just couldn't find their way in, but eventually do here. Spoil it just a bit, you see that hook onto Bell. I believe spells the beginning of a little bit of a disaster for Kelowna Gas. Maybe a reminder to take things a little more seriously as hatch attack falls incredibly low here. Looks like Red Pill is just about to trade him out and get things back under control. Falls very low, and then Crisis falls to full charge Zenyatta Blast as Red Pill decides to push forward into the spawn. Picks up the kill on CM the Storm, but eventually falls too low. Maybe Kyria is able to find an angle on him with the aggressive positioning that he had. Yeah, Kyria back here on the point trying to fight from safety. Nearly brings down hash attack with Kyria, but eventually a lot of offensive pressure. And you're going to see UFV opting to try and hold this archway back here. Especially with Kyria hooked now. UFV, yeah, you see the ping coming out there from Crisis, maybe just communication. I say maybe, it was me. Anyways, maybe just communication from Kelowna Gas to try and hold this archway, give up the point, take a little time to regroup. And mostly effective is that strategy. A little bit more regrouping mentally and all that ends up being needed to kind of get things under control here. A couple of hero swaps when ults come out, that kind of thing. Anyways, for now, you see Platinum Laser on a little bit of an aggressive flank. Kelowna Gas sort of split in how they want to approach this archway defense right now. With the pulse coming out from Platinum, it is a stick and it is a finish. Determined not to lose a 1v1 with Panting Dog on the Bastion there. Bell puts out, feels like a slightly premature Ponzo ult, but you know, who can say? Platinum Laser ends up giving his life, held on to the recall, just a little bit too long there. And oh my goodness, Kyria just melting through that window. Bell as well. So Bell and Kyria are going to be picking up some really big kills there. And actually, I'm aware of this being a play of the game, so since we have the luxury to do so, we'll back that up and give you a little bit of an instant replay on Bell here. So we get the headshot onto Beat Birthday Ninja, incredibly clean, hit some storm arrows in the play of the game. Effa could never. And there comes another body shot onto Panting Dog to close things out. Bell with a 3k there through the window. Curia picked up a nice headshot kill as well. And so Bell and Curia stabilizing that fight after two, maybe even, yeah, I think all three of the other Kelowna Gas members had fallen, and then Bell and Curia with the window. 2v5, pick up 4 kills, leave the other turntail and running. So Kelowna Gas is able to balance things out. Another ult built incredibly fast for Bell, but sort of thrown by the wayside once again. No problem. Platinum Laser does fall elsewhere. It's like Curia was hooked in, and maybe a slight mishap on his lamp immortality field placement there. As Bell, also maybe a slight mishap on that Storm Arrow, but that's okay. We'll give her a pass on that one after the play of the game just a few seconds ago. And Crisis still in shambles a little bit. Bell and Crisis, I do believe, eventually going to be falling here. Crisis still alive. Exceptionally long time. Not sure what I did there to deserve that, but that's okay. UFV now. Almost 3 minutes remaining. The meterage coming very close. Newman University coming very close to completing his second point here on King's Row. Kelowna Gas with a few more tricks up their sleeve. Starters, Crisis, your boy, has the Alari ult here, so we deal some damage out. And picking up 2 kills with that one. Curia follows up on a 3rd. So, you know, for all the Alari shenanigans, finally a little bit of payoff with kind of a 2 kill, 3 limb ult there. And then Red Pill and Curia clean up the fight and stop the bleeding there. So with just 4 meters remaining before that point would have been completed, Kelowna Gas clutching things up and now give themselves 2 minutes with a couple of ults on the way. And Crisis and Laser swapping onto slightly more serious heroes of theirs in Reaper and Lucio. And I'm sure the comm is very serious at this moment, as UFV, our Kelowna Gas flagship Overwatch roster, decides to lock in, doesn't really want to find ourselves in a 0.3 against Newman University Jets in this second map of the series. As Bell picked a nice kill on to Meow, and Curia, my goodness. Peeking the corner, very low health, takes care of business. Laser gonna take care of business there in the room as well with some support from Curia. Crisis enjoying his ability to skate around the walls.
Scanning.
Spell is in a pretty forward position here. Why not? After picking up 2 more kills in that last fight, incredibly hot on the Hanzo here on King's Row was Bell. And ooh, a little headshot there with the Storm Arrow. A lot of damage for Red Pill to try and follow up on as he pushes forward. He does have an ult, I'm thinking about using it pretty soon here. Platinum Laser is built up to one as well. And 3 nice ults come up from Newman University to pick up 3 kills, but then Platinum Laser on the back end comes in with just 1 ult of his own, and oh my goodness. Newman University, even when they get it right, they get it wrong. Kelowna Gas is your opponent. There's not much hope that you have. 3 ults from Newman University Jets. 3 kills. And then a window for Curia to keep him alive. Platinum Laser drops very nice Death Blossom on the point. Crisis is going to pick up a bit of a random snipe onto Storm there. Actually going to make life harder for Newman University as they try to find a way to touch this point. Curia picking up a headshot kill as well. And that will do it. King's Row goes by the wayside. It's a 3-1 victory for Kelowna Gas. You know, briefly experimenting with some shenanigans, but eventually locking back into the correct heroes, the correct comp, the correct shape, and taking care of business, getting a victory on King's Row to take our series to 2-0. 7 minutes remain as we head into the 3rd and slight spoiler final map of the series. And Kelowna Gas, oh my goodness, didn't learn their lesson on the second map, we never do, to stay on proper heroes. Now experimenting with an incredibly fun comp. Yeah, screenshot that one, send it to the coach, see what he has to say about that. Torb, Bastion, Mercy, Moira, Roadhog. One of the comps of all time, really. As Kelowna Gas moves our way forward into this one, you're going to see Red Pill starting things off pretty quickly for Kelowna Gas. Oh my goodness, picks up a second kill as well. Roadhog, everything Red Pill did really that day went incredibly well for him. Gets the hook onto the ball there. Not sure why ball is picked on this map actually to begin with, but anyways, they've swapped up their tank player again. Has Newman University Jets and Kyria. Kyria gonna be a fun POV to watch all throughout this map. He's playing the Mercy, he's got the Glock out and he is just chasing down Newman University players. Does remember he's a healer there briefly. Pushing up forward and gonna be, I think, picking up at least one of these frags. Oh no, Bell and Platinum Laser greedily hogging the kills away from their flex support on their, I guess, main support at this point on the Mercy there. Chris is gonna have Fade in time to touch this point and yeah, keep it from being back capped there. Newman University nearly took control just by playing some aggressive positioning, some cheeky flanking, but that's okay. Kelowna Gas gets things back under control and fighting to keep control of the point here. Chris is getting a little bit of a headache, spinning around, trying to find an angle on the ball. Eventually gives up, goes back to playing his role as a healer. Can't quite make the jump to go save Platinum. My bad. Anyways, does save Red Pill with the ult there, and then pushing forward with it, and initially looking for some kills, and then eventually finding 1, 2, and eventually a prolonged 3 here. Probably would have been the safe bet to heal Kyria there, but why save your Mercy when you can just kill theirs? One thing we like to say in Kelowna Gas, have said for many years, is nobody can damage you if there's nobody alive to damage you. Our support line in particular very attached to that quote. If you reduce all of the incoming sources of damage down to 1, or down to 0 ideally, you have eventually, essentially, healed everyone, because you have prevented any damage from being possible. As Crisis, maybe actually the whole team a little bit confused about which point it was for a second there. Chris is going to get some damage out with the orb, and some ults building up here. Platinum got the artillery. Bell gonna have one of our favorites in the Torball soon here. Platinum Laser maybe in a little bit of trouble in this minefield. Hopefully the supports have eyes for him as Bell picked up a 1-for-2 or 2-for-1 trade there on Torbjorn, so that's lots of fun. Here picking up a kill, hashtag trading that one out, so Kelowna Gas in a little bit of a challenging position. Oh my goodness, meow meow. Tries to crouch and hide from the Bastion ult, doesn't turn out well for her, and Platinum Laser picks up 2 on the Bastion. One of our favorite heroes in all of Overwatch, really one of our favorite comps I think I maybe have ever seen. Oh my goodness, there's third for Platinum Laser on the Bastion in this fight, just absolutely feasting right now. Pumping the deflect a little bit just for fun, you know, it's the kind of thing we like to do, and Kyria will stick on his POV for a little while now. See if he gets the block out, which he does. Looking for opportunities to deal damage on the Mercy. So far, Newman University in this fight, not really giving him one. There you go, sees Birthday Ninja, immediately hits a headshot. He is the best Mercy player in the world, especially when it comes to, yeah, whipping out the Glock and just going to town that way. But reminded briefly, he's got to heal Bell. And you hear the damage coming in from the cast. There is an ult coming up from Newman University pretty shortly here as Crisis tries his best to keep Red Pill alive, barely does so, long enough for Kyria to get back and get that kill. And then Kyria is able to get the res, which is going to be big for UFV here as Crisis shuts it down. Genji ult with a coalescence there, and then picks up the kill onto the Diva as well. So Kyria with the heroic resurrection brings Bell back into the fight, and then Crisis and Bell kind of taking care of business here in this one. The team kill, Platinum Laser picks up the kill as well. Kelowna Gas now just 1 point away from securing the total victory. So we'll skip ahead just because we can. Crisis is going to be looking for an early pick here. And let's see what kind of side quest Kyria is on. Mercy ult coming out, flying into the backline, looking for kills, falling incredibly one-shot is Kyria. Somehow staying alive. Some nice maneuvering, Mercy parkour experience coming through. Crisis and Red Pill picking up too many of the kills, but Kyria does eventually get one. There you go. Kyria may be a little upset, could have had a 4K Mercy Valkyrie Glock attack there, but does eventually secure one of the kills. Quite a few limbs, I'm sure, came through there, and Kyria just in the most shambolic position I think I've ever seen him play in there. Bell gonna trade it out though. quickly avenged is Kyria. Lots of kills, and we should say pretty good healing actually as well on the Mercy, I think, although I do believe his damage was about twice his healing at one point in this map on the Mercy. But what can you say, when you're up 2-0 and in the dominant fashion that Kelowna Gas was on this particular evening, you may as well have some fun with it. So Kelowna Gas now looking for really one more fight win. Probably gonna just about do it as Red Pill gets an early kill off the cast there, turns around, gets another onto the Genji. And Crisis gonna get that final kill there with actually a melee on to the Ana. And Kelowna Gas now pushing their way all the way forward to the Newman spawn. Bell gonna pick up the final kill, maybe of the map. Freya headshot there onto Hatch Attack. Red Pill touches the spawn door. Little Bigness 1 tribute. Kelowna Gas not looking like they experienced any loss whatsoever, not missing a beat, and taking care of Newman University in 3-0 fashion. Really great all-around performance from UFV's storied Kelowna Gas Overwatch roster that we're excited to see this season what they can do. And gonna be looking forward to many more wins like that, hopefully to come in this season, as we get a little bit of the Overwatch special there with the disconnect just to end the video. And yeah, again, I'm your host Crisis. I'm also Lucio, but no big deal. I'm your host Crisis Cast. Thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week, Wednesday at 5:30, hopefully live, for an opportunity for UFV's Kelowna Gas roster to go 2-0 for the first time in a little while, often having 5-2, 6-1, incredible seasons of late, but often starting off with a loss in that first week. So in a cool position, cool opportunity to try for an undefeated season here, having finally taken care of the ever-elusive Week 1 win. I'm your host, Crisis. Thanks so much for joining. We look forward to seeing you next week. We'll see you then.